Yo, wait. One sec. All right. Yo, what is good, everybody, everywhere tuning into this live stream? I hope everybody is doing great. I hope you guys are all doing fantastic and ready to watch me and Ibrahim talk about some live transfer news, what's going on in the world of football, what's going on in the world of Europe, and what's going on in the world in general. This is Kareem, and Ibrahim's going to be hopping on just shortly, and we're going to start talking. A lot of stuff been going down, and also a lot of like stalemates. So definitely a lot of content for you guys today. Get involved. Let us know what you guys think. Keep us engaged. Ask your questions when you got it. If you want to just tell Ibrahim that he has a big forehead, let him know. And yeah, so we're going to just get going real soon here. But hope you guys are doing great. It is Wednesday, July 12th. And there he is. All right. Let me just pause the music real quick before I accept the brother's call. And then...
Sure, man.
Well, go on, brother. One sec. Okay.
Sure, man. How you been?
I'm doing great. How are you? What are you saying?
Well, nothing. Just all swimming a bit.
Nice. Yeah. So we are. So I started live stream. We are ready to go. My camera's just taking a hot.
No, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. I don't see you.
Oh, you miss me? No, I'm kidding.
I did. I miss your face, man.
Thanks, bro. All right. Let's see what's going on. Okay. I'm gonna just put it back there. Okay. So yeah, let me just. I don't know why it's not working. Still don't see me, eh?
No, I don't see you, no.
Strange, my friend. Strange. Okay, we're just gonna. You're not gonna see me, but the homies are in the live stream are gonna see me. So
Oh,
yeah. Okay, that's my dumb face. We're just gonna adjust it to be all cute and such. All right, so they can see me, you can't see me, but that's fine. We're just gonna rock with that today because I don't know why it's not working. And yeah, let me just pull up the chat, make sure that we're following what's going on there. And okay, so this is Basement Baller Podcast. This is one of our live streams. We've done one before with me and Ibrahim, and we're doing it again because we're finding it's pretty fun. This way we can get more guests involved and all that. So that's great. This week it's just me and Ibrahim. But let us know if you guys want to see anybody in particular. But like we don't have that much pull in the world of football. So
no, we do not. We do not. Unfortunately,
don't ask us to bring on Messi or something. But yeah, give me 1 second. All right. So, how are you doing, my friend? Have you been keeping up with football news and all that?
I have. It's been kind of a slow week though.
It's been a very slow week. Yeah. Look, today was the first. Like, I'm pretty sure today was the first day of like kind of preseason going on. Manchester United played Leeds. Manchester United wins 2-0. And like I mean, like for me, it was like like whatever. I didn't even watch it, to be honest. Mason Mount was looking a little bit shaky out there from what I heard and what I read. But I think this brother has a lot to prove this season. So what do you got? What do you think about that? Like overall transfer in general? Do you think it made sense for United to pick him up, or like?
Hell no. No, it was a shit transfer. Terrible. I don't. I don't know. Like I think I mentioned this to you before. They basically just got a worse version of Bruno Fernandes, and he was more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't see really what he adds. Like they need someone who's can control the ball. Bruno can't control the ball. Mason Mount sucks at control the ball. The only dude who can control the ball in that midfield is Casemiro, and that's their DM. Like they
Mm-hmm.
needed I'm not saying like him specifically like as a player, but they needed like a Thiago type midfielder or like one of them, like one dude who can control the ball.
Hmm.
They don't need dudes who basically just like who are just road runners
Yeah, no, I feel
because
that.
here's what Mason Mount, man. He's a GA merchant. This guy, because it's like with Bruno Fernandes. To me, Bruno Fernandes, I don't actually think he's like that great. It's just that he pads his stats all the time. So
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
that's
like
the thing.
I
So
think that,
like
like these days, like one of the things that people have been really like getting annoyed about a little bit is the comparisons between Bruno Fernandes and KDB, and I feel like I don't get
yeah,
it, like because like
dumb
KDB
comparison.
is
Yeah.
like top 10 Premier League player of all time in my opinion, and then Bruno is not. So and
Top 10 all time. Well, he's the best
he,
midfielder all time, in my opinion.
and
But top 10 all time?
yeah, I mean I guess that's yeah that's arguable,
Uh,
but
man,
it's tough.
that's tough, man. I don't know because you're telling me. I mean, okay, you know what? Actually, on a side tangent, what would be your top 10 all time Premier League? Because KDB does not make it. You're telling me so already. There's like, let's see, he's not better than Henri. He's not better than Ronaldo. He's not better than Rooney. It's already three. Um, mm, he's not better than. Let's see. Let me think. I mean, I know different positions, but like, not better than John Terry. I still wouldn't put him over like Ferdinand. That's already five. Then let's see, Bergkamp. Would you say he's better than Dennis Bergkamp or? Because Dennis Bergkamp wasn't really a midfielder. I don't know. That's tough.
That is tough.
There's a
That
lot
is
of.
tough. I
I
mean,
mean,
I don't like off the
to
top of my
me,
head, like I'm putting like yeah, off the top of my head is tough because the thing is like I'm not old enough to talk about like some of those older brothers like Rush and like
listen. If you're gonna talk about from what I've seen
hmm.
personally in the Premier League, then the best player of all time for me is Eden Hazard. From what I've
No
seen.
way, bro.
But-
Come on. No, no, no. Thierry, like I mean, obviously like
Well, no, no, I'm
we
saying
were
for
really
that
young.
I've watched. No, no,
Yeah.
that I've watched. Thierry Henry was in his prime when I was in diapers.
Shout out Fox. His brother's born in
He was in his
2002.
prime when I was like 3 or 4 years old. No, no, that's the thing. But I'm talking about players I've seen. Yeah, Eden Hazard's the best player I've ever seen in the Premier League.
Yeah, no, he was something else, honestly. Like, and the thing is, it's still sad how like we don't even hear no more Hazard news these days. Like I would expect him at least to sign with some, you know,
I'm sure he's
even the
happy to see.
MLS or the Saudi league or something. Like those
I'm
brothers are
sure.
picking up.
I'm sure he's happy eating burgers on the side, man. You don't have to
Nah,
worry
bro.
about that.
You don't think so? You think he's kind of done? You think he's tapped out?
I don't think he cares that much anymore. I'll be honest, because like, if he did, he wouldn't be behaving the way he is.
Hmm.
It makes no sense. You can't move the way he's been moving and then think clubs are gonna sign you.
Do
Like,
you think
it
that
doesn't
affects
make
his
sense.
legacy though? Like, or do you think like his run in the Premier League kind of like holds?
No, I don't think it affects his legacy because for me, he's already cemented himself as, in my opinion, a top five Premier League player ever. In my opinion. So I don't. I wouldn't say he's no. To me, he's top five all time in the Premier League. So like,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think he damages his legacy. No. I think. I think if anything, maybe he missed out on an opportunity to enhance it because he already basically is a Premier League legend, and then he could have went to La Liga, been the main reason why Madrid won a league or a Champions League, and then he could have been a Madrid legend as well. So he didn't ruin his reputation; he just failed to enhance it. I
Yeah,
think
fair. Yeah, because he could have. Yeah, like
because
cause you do stuff at Chelsea is one thing. Chelsea is one of the biggest clubs in the world, and you cement yourself as the Chelsea legend, right? But
mhm.
I think even Chelsea fans will agree that if you were to then move to the biggest club in the world, Real Madrid, and then continue or even improve on what you did at Chelsea, like you start talking about top 10, top 20 all time like conversation, you know. So,
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
but it's
I don't know.
unfortunate.
For me, Hazard, yeah. To me, it's unfortunate. He could have done way more for sure. He could have done way more for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. For me, it's a thing of like, I think basically he just got his big move and then just said, okay, that's it. Like, I pretty much made it.
Yeah.
I don't know because some players are like that. But speaking of La Liga, so I saw this. I'd have to pull this out for you real quick. Pause. Um, let's see. Because now that Barca, so I don't know if you saw, but Barca signed Roque. I mean, it's been we pretty much known he was gonna sign, but now it's like
Yeah.
official,
Confirmed.
official.
Cox.
Like it's confirmed by Barca. And now if I look at Barca's, if you look at Barca Madrid's talents over the next like 15 years, basically. So look at this. Barca have Yamin Lamal, or is that, yeah, Yamin Lamal, what is his name? Yeah, they have him, who's 15. Roque was 18. Gavi 18. Balde 19. Pedri's 20. Antifati's 20. Kunde's 24. Araujo's 24. And then Madrid have Endrick, who's 16. Guler, who's 18. Bellingham 20. Camavinga 20. Rodrigo 22. Vinicius, Chouameni, and Brahim Diaz 23.
Yeah. No,
So
that's
like
honestly setting up like a
that
future of like.
that's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be high because now he comes in, and I did mention this I think on either last week or the last time we did a stream. I did mention we needed at least a backup for Lewandowski, and he's a striker.
Hmm.
So and he's young, he looks really good. So to me, I'm happy with that signing
Hmm.
because like now pretty much we have pretty much backup in like most areas because the places we needed to address. We've addressed all of them except I think probably a right back.
Hmm.
But there's rumors saying that Barca, like I'm just reading this right now. So there's a journalist right here who's claiming that Roque may not arrive this summer. He may arrive during the winter because there may be a surprise signing, and it could be that of a player of a certain amount of money that arrives at Barca.
Mm.
Now, the links to Bernardo Silva are back because apparently Xavi really wants Bernardo Silva.
Hmm.
I don't know how much. I don't know how much Man City would be willing to sell him for, but I mean, yeah, I don't know because I don't know how many years he has left on his contract, but he's not going to cost you less than 70 mil. And I don't know where the fuck Barca are going to get 70 million from. So
Yeah.
I don't.
And also like so he was approached like earlier on in the transfer window by Saudi clubs that he like pretty much I guess denied it because he knows within himself that he can still kind of push for like he can still be really competitive in world football today. So I was thinking like I wasn't really thinking Barca as much as I was thinking maybe like a move to PSG if there was gonna be a move. But I mean
That's boring. Like, why would he do
yeah,
that? Like,
yeah.
he needs to go to either a Barca or Madrid. Like that's just boring because PSG now. Let's go on the subject. Actually, you just transitioned it. So, you would hear about this Mbappe news or no?
Oh, I've been keeping like good tabs on it because it's just a bunch of like whiny cry baby kind of shit going on, right?
So basically, because like to recap for those who don't know, so basically, Mbappe wants to leave PSG, but he wants to leave next year on a free, just because whenever players leave on a free, they get a way bigger signing on bonus because
Mm,
the club they're going to
the transfer
doesn't
fee,
have to pay anything to get them,
Fox.
so that money just goes towards the player. So that's why now PSG basically obviously don't want to do that because Mbappe's still like the scary thing is that technically speaking, he's like now entering his prime,
Mm,
and he's already this good. So you're not gonna want to lose a player who could get you at least 200 million
yeah.
in this market. Because okay, how do I say this? I think Mbappe now is probably as good. Like I don't know, maybe this could be a hot take. He's probably as good or he's near as good as what Neymar was when he went to PSG and he cost PSG 222 million. And that was 6 years ago. So like transfer market's worse now. So Mbappe now, like teams need to but PSG also need to realize that if they're asking for that much money, no team's gonna pay for it. So they're gonna have to lose him for free.
Yeah, it would be the biggest transfer. That's the thing. But like
Because
most clubs,
yeah.
because I think it was so like not sudden, but like it kind of was right. Like in terms of because like a lot of these teams are planning on their signings and they have to like like spend time contemplating and not just that, but if you're the biggest signing in history, you know how much like resources this gonna take from a club. Like a club needs time to prepare for that, and like a club like Real Madrid who was most likely preparing for 2024 when initially his contract was supposed to expire, right? So then they come through talking about about like, oh well, actually we're trying to sell him now. Real Madrid's basic crap. Like we were already just spent 100 and some mil on Bellingham, right? We don't have the
Yeah,
funds.
they're
They're
not
not Real Madrid can't get Mbappe this offseason unless
for
like they sell like some of their bigger talents, you know?
yeah, for Madrid to well because okay, apparently now I think this is probably an exaggeration, but apparently they're saying that it's gonna cost 550 million total
Mm,
to get Mbappe because it's the transfer fee, plus like the whole package, like the
wages
wages,
and
probably
stuff. Yeah,
signing on bonus for the agent, blah blah, everything's gonna cost about 550 million. So, and the only team who could afford that is ironically PSG.
yeah,
So for Madrid to get Mbappe now, which well they kind of need a striker, like they do need some attackers. If they were to get him now though. They'd have to sell. I don't even know if one is enough. They'd have to sell two like big players. Like I could see like maybe like a Chouameni or a Valverde, and then maybe like
like a Rodrigo
I
or
don't know.
something. Like they'd have to.
Yeah, maybe a Rodrigo, something like that. Like they'd have to sell at least two starters
Yeah,
because Madrid is not gonna go fork out 500 million. That's why I think because if they do that though, because that's why I think Mbappe wants to stay at PSG because I don't think. Because maybe he knows that Madrid need to sell a big player for him to come in, and he doesn't want Madrid to basically sell all their assets for him, because then he's going to go to Madrid and the team's not going to be that great.
yeah. Plus,
So
it's
that's
also
probably
like
why
a
he'd want to go
conscience
for
thing. Like,
free.
cause you know how like with Messi,
Mm.
right? One of the things Messi was like rumored to be saying. I think pretty sure it was just rumors to be saying is that
Mm.
he didn't want to transfer to Barca and it'd be the reason why they sold a bunch of players for just for him to come through, right? So like maybe
Uh,
Mbappe is like similarly thinking like if I could join them next year,
no,
2024, and I could, you
well,
know,
I don't know if that would be no. The only reason why I don't think because Mbappe, first of all, the thing is between him and Messi's like as good as Messi is, Messi's like 35. So as much as like I wanted him back at Barca, it would make no sense to sell like two or three key starters, future pieces, whatever, for Messi when like he joined in and it would probably make the team slightly weaker. Plus he's old.
yeah, facts.
Whereas Mbappe is 24, so like he's not really gonna care about kicking someone out because he's still young.
Hmm.
Like he could stay at Madrid at least. Like if Madrid signed him now, he could be their star striker for at least the next 10 years
Hmm.
because he's 20. He's 24. Attackers normally peak when they're like maybe like they peak around like 31 and then maybe decline slightly. But so basically, he won't be finished. Like Mbappe to me probably is going to be like meh by the time he's like 34, 35. But I think until then, he'll be serviceable.
Yeah,
Like the next 6 years, like him, the next 6 years, he'll be like if he goes to Madrid now, the next 6 years of his, well, he'll be like amazing.
yeah.
I think he could definitely win a Ballon d'Or, definitely win maybe one or two Champions Leagues, maybe even more. Who knows? Could definitely win some league titles. But it all depends. But if they do sell Mbappe, rumor is they want to get Harry Kane. So what do you? Because
PSG.
apparently, yeah, PSG want Harry Kane, and apparently Bayern. Now, a report I saw earlier, which I don't know how true this is. Apparently, Bayern would have to sell up to 7 players to fund the Harry Kane transfer.
Thing is
So like
with
some of those,
PSG is that there's too many brothers that think they have an opinion, and it's like there's some people that like should have an opinion. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, the president and like all the like you know the manager. These guys should have opinions on what happens in the club. But then you have like people coming out like the Emir of Qatar is absolutely furious at him. But it's like there's
yeah,
too
but who give a
much.
fuck?
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
Who
Like
give a
there's way too much like baggage involved in being a PSG player. It just doesn't sound like a healthy environment to play in.
Bro, it's a bunch of
And not
prima
just that, but like
donnas.
you're Harry Kane, right? If you're not staying in the Premier League, who are you going to? Bayern Munich, a club with
But that's what
legacy
I'm gonna say.
and
Like,
history,
why
and
would you? No, but what? But if I'm him, I know as dumb as this might sound. If I'm him, I'd just rather stay in Spurs. It's a more fun league, and plus because him going to Madrid or going to the PSG and not Madrid, sorry, him going to Bayern or going to PSG and breaking his trophy drought, whatever. That's like well, I could go to PSG and win the league title. Like that's not. It's like who was it? Yeah, Rihanna said this about when KD went to the Warriors. It's like losing your virginity to a prostitute. Like yeah, you're winning, but like, is it really?
yeah, no,
Nah.
I could see that.
Is to me, I'd rather stay at Spurs because like if my only options are PSG or Bayern now, unless they offer insane money, which well Bayern I don't think they'll PSG might, but I don't think Bayern would.
Mm,
Is that basically what's the attractiveness? Fine, you go there, you win leagues, but Premier League is more like first of all, the league you're in is more attractive. Second of all, I mean, I don't see Spurs winning a Premier League anytime soon, but new coach, they're getting a few younger players, which are like, they're players that are not necessarily household names, which is interesting. Because normally when you go for players that aren't household names, that means the coach like specifically would want those kinds of players like on
Mm-hmm.
his team. So like he has an idea of how he wants to build the team essentially. So if
Mm-hmm.
I'm Kane, if my offer is obviously like like a Man United, I mean obviously not Arsenal, but like if he goes like one of them, or maybe he goes to Barca, Madrid, or even like a Juventus, something AC Milan, I'm like okay, sure, but like yeah, no, going to PSG or Bayern, it's like it is boring. Like,
Yeah,
I would just rather stay at Spurs,
that's
to be
fair. That's
honest.
fair. I mean, the thing is that um, like the one way you can think about it is like with for Spurs, which I don't really understand why they're doing this, is that like next year I'm pretty sure his contract is over, right, Harry Kane. So he'd
Yeah,
be similar
so
situation to what PSG with Mbappe is that he would just be leaving for free if he ends up deciding to leave next year. They could make some money and help fund the rebuild that they're trying to do. Because like at the end of the day,
but
like these brothers are not in any European competition next season. They're basically ready to rebuild. So
well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
like I told you last week, I could see Spurs making top four next year. Now for me though, except okay, the difference between Kane and Mbappe though is the I feel like Kane is not as much of a like drama. Like
He's
you
not a
know how I
diva.
could see this.
Yeah.
No, you know how I could see this Kane thing working out. I think this is what would it would be is that he's looking for a move now. Now, say he can't get his move, and obviously Spurs don't want to lose him for free. I think maybe he would agree like an extension with Spurs, or like maybe 2 or 3 years. And then next year Spurs can guarantee him like a move, but basically they'd want the guaranteed like recoup more money, like a decent amount of money,
Hmm.
basically,
Yeah.
because now basically they're charging like apparently if it's for a team inside the Premier League, it's either non-negotiable or it's like 150
Yeah.
million.
Yeah. No, it's
And if a
exactly.
team outside the Premier League is maybe like 100 million. Now, if I'm Bayern, I get him. If I'm PSG, I don't know. If I'm Bayern, because Bayern's team lacks a striker. Like their striker was Choupo-Moting last year. Like
Hmm.
he's decent, but
It's
you need a little better.
yeah.
So if I'm Bayern, I go. If I'm PSG, man, I'm just starting from scratch because like I like the signings they're making. Like they got okay, so Asensio, they got that one Kim,
Ugarte. They got
they got that one dude from Mallorca,
uh
the Korean
the
dude. I
South
forgot his
Korean
name. They got Ugarte. They got who was they got to? Apparently they're linked with Xavi Simmons as well. I mean, he was in their academy. Apparently they want him back. Like the signings they're making now are slightly more sensible. They also got Lucas Hernandez from Bayern. So like signings are a bit more sensible, I'd say. Like if
yeah.
I'm PSG now, I would just look at building like an organic project, not necessarily going for like
Because well, the
star
thing is, yeah,
signings.
like I understand what you're saying. I think with PSG, like it's still the case that they're the favorites to win the French league, right?
Mm.
But even taking the moves that have been happening in the Bundesliga, like Dortmund's significantly weaker this next season, and so on and so
Mm.
forth. Like you take in like Bayern is not really like they're probably not really looking at the Bundesliga to be honest as something as like they have to work towards because like okay like it's pretty much in the bag for those
Oh,
brothers. They should be
yeah,
focusing like on
Champions League,
signing for
Champions
Champions
League.
League exactly right. And
Yeah,
PSG,
because their nearest competitor. Yeah, sorry, my fault. Go
yeah, go
ahead.
ahead, no, go ahead.
Yeah, so like you said, their nearest competitor, Dortmund, just lost their was Bellingham the captain? Yeah, he was he the captain?
I'm pretty sure,
I
yeah.
think he was. They lost their captain and also the best player on their team, and they start to Madrid, and then they lost their starting right back to Bayern,
Exactly.
right? And on top of that, Leipzig, which is like the nearest competitor besides Dortmund, just lost Sabasla or whatever to you guys to Liverpool.
Hmm.
So like, yeah, they also Nkunku went to Chelsea. So like, yeah, like but like Bayern could literally just get like 60 points next year,
Yeah.
and they'd still win the league. Like, no, Bayern like Bundesliga is just like
It's
it's shit.
it's
Like
it's it's gonna be
Bayern,
like just in their hand. If they lose it, it would be like just like sad.
yeah, if they lose it, it's because they'd have to have like their whole squad injured or
Yeah,
something. Like I don't know
100%.
because like I told you, like if I'm Kane, yeah, Bayern or PSG wouldn't interest me unless the offer's too good. But if I'm him, maybe what I tell Spurs is I stay like okay. I'll stay like one more year for like better offers, maybe for like next year we could say 'cause maybe next year we can maybe see like a Barca, maybe a Juventus, or maybe like one of the English teams. I don't know, like a better maybe offer comes in next year. You're like okay, I'm gonna leave next year, but I could sign an extension so you guys could still recoup like some money or
Hmm.
some shit, and then I would just stay this year
Yeah.
with
No, that's not
Spurs
terrible.
because for me, yeah, like at this stage in his career, he's like 30. He does need to win some silverware, but like I don't know if I don't
He
know if I
deserves
want
it.
my like I don't know if I want my major move because keep in mind he's 30. Like now, whatever move he makes now is the team he's pretty much going to be on until he like retires or is pretty much
Or
like
like gets out of his prime. Yeah, like yeah.
goes like MLS or something. You
Yeah,
know, so like if
facts.
I'm him, I wouldn't want my career to be a trophyless at Spurs and then basically friggin'
Stat
stacking
padding,
up
trophy
stacking
stacking. Yeah,
stacking up League Ones and Bundesliga titles with
yeah,
teams that basically would have won regardless,
that's fair. That's
with or
fair.
without me. So like, yeah, if I'm him, I don't know. Those don't look appealing to me.
There's also one thing that
So yeah,
we didn't even talk about for PSG is that they have Luis Enrique now. I'm pretty sure we didn't mention that, right?
yeah, we did.
Right. So Luis Enrique, they got Lucas Hernandez, like you mentioned, Ugarte, Kangin Lee.
uh,
That's the South Korean brother that you were talking about. Asensio, Skriniar, Dirandur, and then yeah,
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't. I think Luis Enrique leaves next year
really like
because
sacked or just like moves on.
I think a bit of both. Reason why is because this team is not constructed to win with a coach like Enrique. Like for me, okay, it's like when they were linked to Spurs, and I was saying the same thing. Enrique, the thing is with him, like I'll give you an example. Right now, Enrique with like Barca, like he coming back to Barca, yeah, great. If he went to maybe like a Liverpool, say he would replace Klopp, cool. He could replace a Peppermint. He needs like a team that specifically plays the way he wants, which is ball retention, pressing. Like he plays my opinion, he plays a mix of like the way Klopp plays and the way Pep plays. Because Pep is more possession, triangle, 1-2 passing, whatever. Klopp has a bit of that, but he's more about like pressing,
Yeah, he's a
you know.
yeah.
But he's very pressing. Enrique's a mix of those two. So for me, you can't play that system if you have well, first of all, Skriniar is to my knowledge, he's not that great of a ball playing center back. I haven't watched too much of Ugarte or Kim Jimmy. But like I'm just thinking about like the overall squad that I know that PSG has right now. The only players who I could see fitting into like that system that he'd want to implement are Neymar because he already played under him and was good. Verratti, but apparently he wants to leave, and Asensio because Asensio played with him and the Spain national team and he was good.
Hmm.
Like for me, like those are the main players I could see doing well because like say Messi stayed and like Mbappe stayed, okay, but Mbappe's probably leaving and Messi's gone. But like the way the squad's built right now, I don't think Enrique's like the best
Yeah.
coach for the way the squad is built. Because okay, let me just go
So you
look at
don't you
it.
don't think he's had much of an influence on the signings that PSG have made? Like,
Well, the thing is that maybe he had, like I told you. Okay, keep in mind, I don't know. Like, okay, I've only seen a bit of Ugarte. I've never watched Kim. Guy, I forgot his name, but I never really watched him. Asensio, he fits the mold, yes. Lucas Hernandez also fits the mold. But Skriniar, I don't think does. And like I told you, the overall PSG squad, because like I don't think they do. Because like for example, okay, Juan Bernat, like yeah, kind of. Hakimi could. Lucas Hernandez, man. Kimpembe, no. Marquinhos, yes, I could see him. I could see him doing well, maybe under him. Nuno Mendes, I mean, yeah, because he has a lot of like Jordi Alba-ish attributes where like he's defensively not great, but he's very good offensively.
mhm.
So he could work with that. Like actually no, the squad actually isn't as bad that I thought it was, to be honest. But still, I don't know because like the midfield to me is not great because Wijnaldum,
He's
was
kind
Wijnaldum not loan? He's on loan at Roma, right? Or is he back at PSG? Because they loaned for him. Did he go back? I don't know. Because it's saying right
was
here
it just a
Wijnaldum is
year?
still there. I'm not sure. Look, Verratti can play that. Fabian Ruiz, meh. Like I've seen him when he played for Spain under Enrique, and he was kind of shit. Draxler could, but Draxler doesn't get any game time there. And then yeah, I don't know. Like for me, like okay, the squad's not as bad as I thought. So, oh wait, hold on, my computer just like
Yeah, no, you're
okay,
good.
cool.
I can see you again. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. The squad to me isn't necessarily that built to cater to the way he wants to play. Now, I might be wrong because to me he's a genius. Luis Enrique is a genius coach. So I could be wrong, but
Hmm.
I don't like. I could see them making maybe like quarterfinals of the Champions League, or maybe even the semis, and like winning League R, which would be like a decent season. But I don't really see them. I don't see them winning. No, I don't see them really doing shit in the Champions League, and well, them winning
Yeah, no,
League
I mean
R
not
will
not
really.
not with teams like Man City and Real Madrid and Barcelona now and not with teams
In
like
my
that in
opinion,
the
look.
mix.
look, if I'm looking right now, just based on like just as of today, July 12th, who I think are favorites to win the Champions League, based on just the squad, Man City for sure. Um, Man City for sure. Arsenal aren't gonna win it. I don't. Arsenal don't win it, but Arsenal could do decent because like they have a bit of depth now.
Hmm.
They're not winning. Like for me, who's win? I think my favorite right now is Man City are gonna win it again.
Yeah, Tupita, yeah.
But I think Barca could actually go far, maybe even win it because Barca's team now, like I told you earlier, like pretty much most of the issues we've kind of addressed. We needed decent backup center backs.
Hmm.
We got Inigo Martinez. He has La Liga experience, whatever. He's not really playing the Champions League, but you want him for rotation in the league, right? Because he has like a lot of experience. Plus, he never gets injured. He played out of, I think I saw the stat. I'm not sure the exact amount of games, but it was like 354, I think,
Hmm.
games that he was eligible to play, and he started 353.
Yeah.
He started literally every game, never gets injured, whatever. So he's solid. Gundogan to me is very solid because we needed a player that basically whenever like one of our starting midfielders gets injured, which Pedri's been kind of injury prone since he's been at Barca, Gundogan's a perfect replacement, or maybe even a starter. You got Victor Roque if he comes in this summer, regardless, that's a backup to Lewandowski. And Sufati's been looking decent on the left. Yeah, you have Rafinha there, you have Dembele, you have Ferran Torres is like you have like it's looking decent. It's looking
Hmm.
decent. Like I think Barca could actually make a splash, and especially because like I think Barca could win because like to me the European teams like basically like every team like I don't think I've ever seen Europe this weak. Like
Yeah.
every team I can think of is weak as shit.
Hmm.
Like Madrid to me are pretty weak. I don't think like I know people are gonna be like, oh, they signed Bellingham and Goulet, but like their attack has nothing. Madrid to me got probably a bit weaker. Juventus have been bad for like 5 years. Napoli could do decent maybe, but they also lost one of their starting defenders to Bayern. Um, Milan, both Milan teams no. Man City, yes. I mean Arsenal like are like decent. I don't think Man United or Newcastle really do shit next year either. Yeah, Barca pretty much like yeah, because like the Champions League this year, like it's weak. This is like I think the weakest I've ever seen the Champions League this coming season. It's
Hmm.
weak.
Yeah, no, I feel that, brother. I feel that. But obviously, like, there's a lot of teams that are like, even Arsenal, like, the first time they've been in the Champions League in a while, and like like, they're building a pretty solid squad to compete and to push. So like, you could. I feel like we like yes, I agree with you in terms of Man City being like probably the favorite in most people's eyes to like repeating the Champions League. But like there
Mm,
like I don't think that we sleep on Arsenal. I mean, even like I'm a biased Liverpool fan, but I don't think you sleep on Liverpool, Barca. I mean, like again, like Barca and Real Madrid, these guys are kind of like more like 2 3 years down the line, 4 or 5 years down the line. That's when you're talking about like when they're gonna hit their stride in terms of like their players and because
mm,
their squad is getting like gradually younger, obviously, and like with Modric and Cruz leaving Real Madrid, for example, I mean like it's gonna get even younger.
mm.
So those kinds of brothers are gonna be competing. I would say 3 4 5 years down the line.
Yeah.
But there's still some talent. There's still some like there, but we could still be surprised in terms of what happens. Um,
Yeah, I wouldn't be like honestly the only surprise thing like if they do well, I'd be like surprised would be probably like a honestly man like Napoli and Arsenal to me are like to me would be like decent shots next year to maybe do something in the Champions League. But besides that, I don't really see anyone else.
that's Napoli is one of those teams that like I mean more specifically Victor Osimhen is one of the players that like I'm surprised isn't really talked about much in terms of transfer anymore, and he seems
Mm.
like unless something crazy happens, it seems like the brother's just gonna stay at Napoli next season because
He will.
nobody's
I don't
making a
think
move
teams are
for
gonna
him.
fork. Yeah. No, I don't think anyone's gonna fork that much money for him as of now
Yeah.
because, like I said, the only teams that like they should be like basically forking that amount of money would be like a Man United or I don't know. For me, Man United is like for me like the best team that like for me like that's the team that should make a push to get him because they need a striker.
Yeah, and the thing
Because
is,
everyone
yeah.
else has a striker pretty much. Every other major team has like a striker. Because Madrid, like, okay, Madrid don't, so they would want to get him, but then
Hmm.
again, they want to get Mbappe.
Yeah.
So like, every major team has a striker essentially outside. Like, I'm talking about like just outside of Italy, because maybe he could go Juventus because apparently like Vlahovic wants to leave.
Mm.
But then again, that's kind of a downgrade. I feel like I don't think it's an upgrade going to Juventus as of now. Why would he want to go PSG? I mean, Arsenal have their striker. Chelsea, like, it's dysfunctional, so fuck that.
Hmm.
He wouldn't want to go Spurs. Liverpool have their strikers. I mean, okay, would you? It's gonna be a dumb question, actually. Would you, if you were to lose like Gakpo or Nunez, but you get Osimhen, would you do it? Him?
Uh,
Okay, you can.
man, sorry,
I thought you can hear me.
I'm just thinking. That's tough because like I feel like when when you have when you support a team, you develop like a bond with the players. So like to just even think about
Yeah,
like
no.
trading or like that's like me saying I don't know, would you give up Saka for who's another amazing right winger? I don't know, like Varsh. I mean, Kvaratskhelia is a left winger, but like let's say Kvicha. Like, would you give up Saka for Kvicha? It's like
No, but that's because I don't think Veach is
yeah,
better than
yeah,
Saka.
fair, but like
But to
yeah.
me, it's not an emotional. No, if you, I'm talking just strictly. I mean, what kind of emotional attachment do you have to Gakpo and Nunez anyway? Like they weren't there when you guys won the league or Champions
I know,
League.
but like whenever
They
I
were.
see a TikTok of Nunez speaking English, I just feel like damn, I love this brother, like he's trying, like
Yeah,
he's a
well,
true
he's trying.
scouser.
You paid 85 million for what? For him to try or for him to score?
Yeah, no. So listen, obviously I'm not an idiot. Like yes, I'd take him and I'd start him. Like it's not even a question. I'd probably like consider moving Gakpo to the 10 or something. But like if you're telling me who would I trade, like if there was like a trade like you do in hockey or basketball, and you tell me who I would trade Nunez. Like because I
Yeah,
do
I
see
mean,
more. I feel like I see more in Gakpo in terms of like his versatility. I would say.
yeah, I would say the same. Well, yeah, Nunez to me, from what I've seen, he gets into so many good positions, he just can't finish.
Yeah.
For me, that's his issue. If Nunez could finish, he'd probably be a top five striker in the world.
So
Because
here's
like,
here's a good
he,
question of the day. I guess we could ask like, and you can give your opinion. So let's say just because it's gonna take forever if we like actually yeah, let's just get how about 5 players in the Premier League, or we can do it in all of Europe. You let me know. 5 players that will shock us next season.
let's see,
So
that will shock
so
us.
like
You mean like in a good way?
yeah, like they're about to pop off. Like those brothers going crazy next season. Okay, now the preseason started.
Five.
Let's yeah. You're 5 players. So you want to do it Premier League though, or do you want to do it like worldwide or like
Well, I'm
European,
trying to.
Europe? I guess.
I'll give you worldwide. I'll give you worldwide. I'm just trying to think. Let's see. So who could actually?
And I'm not saying they're going to become
Hmm.
top 5 talents, but I'm saying like maybe they were playing really bad last season, and you just think that they have a lot more in them. They can push. You know what I mean?
I think Yuri Tielemans will do good on Villa
Villa, yeah.
because he's. I think he'll rediscover his form from like 2 years ago. I think he could do well.
Hmm.
Um, I think possibly, possibly who could like I think break out and like be a star would be what's his name? I think given the system, I think Kai Havertz could do well at Arsenal. I think
Yeah.
because like the system is like I think more catered to like him, I'd say. Like not I mean catered to him in the sense that like the system revolves around him, but like the way Arsenal play suits his play style more, so I think he would do decent at Arsenal.
Hmm.
I think I honestly think Gundogan. Well, I don't know if that doesn't really shock the world
Yeah, it's not
though.
going to be like
I was gonna
crazy.
say,
Yeah.
there's that. I think damn, yo, this is actually a
I'm
tough
gonna throw out.
question.
I'll throw out a couple names there, and you let me know what you think because these
Yeah,
are
sure.
brothers that I personally think will not maybe not like again not be like top 5 talents in the world, but I think they have more to show, and they just didn't show it last season. So, starting off, I think Anthony, Manchester United. I think that he's gonna have a much better season this year than he did last
Disagree.
year. You disagree?
I
Eh?
think he's gonna have. I think he's gonna have a worse season.
Nah, bro. I feel like that brother has a lot more potential than like than what we've seen, and I think
No,
it just takes players a little bit of time to get used to the system. So I think that he'll come in,
well,
he'll do his thing, and he'll pick it up.
no, no, false. Only for one reason. Normally, yes, but I mean, he was playing for Ten Hag the year before, and he played for Ten Hag last. Like he didn't change coaches or system. He's playing for the same coach and same
Yeah, but
system.
like he's also playing with
It's a tougher
tougher
league.
league, different players that you're playing with. Like it does take
That's what I'm saying.
adjustment.
But the players, but that's what I'm saying. The players are relatively the same, and he's in the same league. So how would he get better?
I trust
Either
me.
he stays the same, or I think he probably gets a bit worse.
All right. Okay. So that's fair though. You guys let us know what you guys think though in the comments after if you guys are watching the live VOD or let us know right now. Another Brazilian that I know you hate, but I think that has a lot more potential than what he's shown. Richarlison. I think that he
No.
really
You know what? Actually, I think shock in a bad way. I'll give you this. I think Bellingham isn't going to do that great at Madrid. I think his first year he's not going to do that great.
really. But you see that
I
one
don't think
funny
he's.
if one that one funny picture of him like losing his brain.
Yeah, getting dusted in training. Yeah, well, that's not what I'm basing my
Yeah,
opinion
no,
off
I know,
of.
of
I'm
course.
basing my opinion off the fact that first of all, I don't think he's going to be an automatic starter, considering
Hmm.
that Modric and Kroos are still there.
Yeah.
And when you're a young player, especially at Madrid, you need to be starting just because which is the type of is the type of team where like you can't just go in be like a bit part player because like first of all you're not gonna get up the rhythm. If you don't get up the rhythm, you play like worse, obviously. And if you play worse, the Madrid fans are gonna get on your ass.
Yeah, Fox.
So like
It's a bit of a vicious
I
cycle,
think
eh?
Bellingham in his first year isn't gonna do that great. So like
Hmm.
if you want to, that could be like a shock in a bad way. I guess I think Bellingham isn't gonna do
Hmm.
that great his first year. I think.
I think Sun is gonna pick it up. I think Sun like had just a bit of a blip, and I think he's gonna come back stronger next season.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I think,
If I'm gonna go with one Liverpool player, um, I'll say this is tough.
give it to me.
I'll say that Van Dyke. I'll say Van Dyke comes back to better form than what he was playing with last season. The only reason I would have picked Nunez, but the thing is I still have questions as to how much playing time Nunez will actually get to be able to demonstrate, given like how our team is looking so far. But I think Van Dyke will step a lot more into the leadership role next season and
Yeah.
come back a little bit better than what he was last season.
Well, for me,
Mm.
like I said, I think Kieran Tierney is going to do better than most people think. Only because since we signed Timber, and Timber's basically Zinchenko just on the right instead of the left. And I personally think Timber is going to start over Ben White. He's probably going to be starting over Ben White
Hmm.
because he's better on the ball. And Arteta, I don't think is going to be playing both of them. Like
Yeah.
he can't play two like not great defenders on your left and right back. You're gonna have to have like you basically have to have like one who's like the inverted one, so like let's
Hmm.
say Zinchenko or a Timber, and you need to have like an out and out left back or right back. So for me, I think Timber starts, and for that reason, um, I think Tierney's gonna be starting way more.
Hmm.
Considering as well that Zinchenko did cost us like a few goals in the title run in, which is like one of the reasons why we didn't end up getting the title. Some of the goals were his fault. So and also the fact that Tierney hasn't been sold yet. Pretty much the rumors about him getting sold have died down, which indicates to me that I think Arteta has talked to him
Hmm.
and told him he's going to be playing, like he's going to feature way more. So
Hmm.
I think Tierney's going to do way better next year than he has the last like 2 years. And then
I think Jesus will have a good season. I see Jesus having a very good season because like
uh,
last season I feel like leading up to his injury he was a lot better than when he came back. And I think maybe he just
yeah,
needed some time, just a little bit of a break before he comes back. I think he's gonna come back and play a lot stronger.
I don't know. That could be. Actually, one player who I think will surprise. Let's see what's I had it in my head like 2 seconds ago. It's oh my god, what was it? Oh yeah, Loftus-Cheek. I think Loftus-Cheek at Milan. Him and Pulisic, because now Pulisic is going like he's been
Yeah,
confirmed he's signing with Milan. I think Pulisic and Loftus-Cheek are gonna do like really good at Milan, especially Pulisic because they still haven't sacked Pioli to my knowledge, and the way they play when they won the title suits a Pulisic because he's pacey and he has like skill.
hmm
He's pacey, he has skill, he has decent finishing.
yeah.
I
That'll be
think
interesting
Pulisic
to see
does
him,
well.
bro. That brother's only 24 years old, eh? Like he's young.
I don't know, man, 'cause you weren't really into the sport at the time, but when Pulisic was at Dortmund, bro, people thought he was gonna be like a top five player, like in the world, because the shit he was showing at Dortmund,
Hmm.
especially, and then when Chelsea signed him, they signed him to be Hazard's replacement, essentially.
Yeah,
when they signed him. He was
Yeah.
basically the Hazard replacement because they signed him in the winter of 2019, but then he didn't come in until like the summer, obviously.
Bro, is Chelsea the
So
place
like,
where like careers go to die? Cause god damn, those brothers kill some careers.
well, them, Man United as well.
Yeah, facts.
Like, I don't know, man. Speaking of Man United, actually, I'm gonna leave you with this final question before we wrap shit up.
Yeah, facts.
So De Gea's been confirmed he's leaving. Do you think he's been disrespected by Man United fans?
Oh yeah, completely. Oh, that was super Canadian. But yeah, no, completely
Oh yeah, bud.
Oh yeah, completely. Oh hey Joanna, how you doing? Thanks for the soccer balls. But yes, no, he's been completely disrespected. By the fans because like yes, granted, like okay, he first of all he won the Golden Glove last season, which like okay, granted, this is it like a bit of a defensive team effort kind of thing. So like that, but and he let in some very terrible goals and he made several mistakes. But last season was, I want to say, arguably by far one of his worst seasons as a United player. That brother was there for what, 12 years? How long?
Yeah, 12. Nah, I think his worst year at United was, I believe, 2018-19. He was fucking dog shit. Like, he
Yeah.
was so bad. Because that was after he came back from basically his, like, embarrassing performance of the World Cup. That was,
Mm-hmm.
like, the season, like, after.
Mm-hmm.
There's that. I think relatively forgetting, like, I know it's a dumb thing to say, but forgetting the, like, obvious dumb mistakes he made, I do think he actually was decent last year. But I don't think, okay. I say this. I think he's been disrespected, yes, but I think he's been more disrespected by the club
Yeah,
than the
facts.
fans.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I say this is because the club should have sold him like 3 years ago. Like the club should have, like 3 years ago is when he should have been sold.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, 4 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
because he would have had like way better value back. Like basically before they gave him his contract, the contract he was on until basically now. I think they should have just sold him
Mm-hmm.
instead of giving him that contract. So the club have allowed him to get disrespected because, like, if they just sold him, which they should have, they could have gotten another keeper. Then he would have been remembered as basically one of United's best ever keepers, minus the fact that he had like one like kind of shit season.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
No, that's fair.
Instead now, because basically you got to keep in mind from 2013-14 to like 2018 for like a good 4 or 5 years. I'd argue he was like the top three goalie in the world, and I think for 2017-2018 it was probably the best goalie in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
No,
So like.
he was honestly he was such a like legend. Like thing is, people are like saying, oh, he's not a legend of the club. Like, what are you on? Like he is completely a legend of the
Oh
club.
no, he is a legend, but no, he had to leave. In my opinion, he should have left 3 years ago.
Yeah, no, that's
But
fair.
like,
But
has he been disliked by
they
some Man United fans?
uh,
Yes, he has, and I do think
just the
some of them are
cheering,
gonna
bro.
be
Just the
as fuck.
cheering, and then when he leaves, that's like because you have like with Liverpool, and I'm not trying to say it's like to boost us up, but like with Liverpool, you got Firmino leaving, right? And like everybody's like supporting him, like we want you to have the best, bro. Like De Gea's leaving, and everyone's like good. Really, not everyone. I don't want to say
Yeah,
everyone,
but you
but
got
like
to keep in mind. You got to keep in mind. As much as I like De Gea is one of the reasons why Man United the last 3 years have declined somewhat.
hmm
Because like Firmino basically he didn't really cause Liverpool to get worse,
yeah,
in
fine.
my opinion. So you got to keep in mind. You got to keep in mind as well is that the only good lasting memories of De Gea are what the Premier League title he won in 2013, which was 10 years ago.
hmm
So a lot of like his good shit he did for the team is not as fresh. Whereas Firmino, because they won the league 3 years ago and the Champions League 4 years ago, it's still kind of fresh
Yeah, fair.
in the memories of Liverpool fans. So that's why like they have more fond memories, you could say, because De Gea's only major achievement was winning the Premier League in 2013, but that was 10 years ago.
Facts.
So
Yeah, well,
yeah.
obviously that's our question of the day. Do you guys think that Man United fans have disrespected De Gea? How do you feel like Onana is gonna do? I'm pretty sure Man United hasn't confirmed the signing of Onana yet, but I mean, like, come on, we kind of know.
No, he's probably gonna go. Yeah, he probably is
So
gonna go.
how do you feel that brother's gonna do in Man United? Do you think Man United in general, given their new signings, are gonna make a splash in the Premier League next season, or are they gonna fall back to something like I would say less than top four? What do you guys think?
Dog shit.
What do you guys think about all of our questions of the day? Shout out to everybody that watched. We really appreciate you guys. And hopefully tune in next Wednesday for another, not live, but another regular episode of Basement Ballers Podcast.
Yeah, peace out,
Peace out,
ladies
guys.
and gentlemen.
Take care. Bye.
That was that.